Let's tweak this.
Okay, we are on the internet.
Ollie?
So, what has happened since last week?
I was working with chicks on just kind of removing some part of the. It was a kind of a DX improvement, but we removed it because it was causing some issues with autoscape stuff. So autoscape, we created the safe markup object, and then we created this thing called implode method on it, and it was making people do bad things with it. So we just removed it, and we kind of made the DX worse, but on purpose, because we really don't want you to use the safe markup object in the first place. So the DX is worse on purpose, but it was not that bad. Like, we finished the patch in about an hour. So
Isn't the
went to
making
coffee shop.
worse at purpose? Hasn't that been the thing we've been doing for the last 8 years in Drupal?
Exactly. No, this is just it's a security thing. So we don't want to. If we make it easy to do things that are making things unsecure, it's bad. So.
Right.
And yeah, it was implode was we actually did already make it bad if you put a starting tag inside of the implode and you don't put an ending tag, you've basically made a security hole there, and that's why we don't want that. It seemed to be common that we did that because it'd make the starting tag safe, and that wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of loosely follow that, but
there's a lot of complicated bits in there. But just me and Chicks went in, or CHX went in, just spending like an hour and a half in the coffee shop and remove that bit. But it just needs a lot of review still. So whoever can jump in there and like look at it in terms of like, what's it doing, and are these things bad?
One thing that I'm curious about that I was going to ask about last week, but I don't think I really had a chance to, was check plain, because I think like at least when Catch was talking about autoscape like way back, probably like almost a year ago, it was like, oh, we can remove all these check planes from pre-process.
Oh
so
yeah, and I think that hasn't been done. I don't think that's set as a follow-up to keep the patch lighter.
That's okay. That's what I kind of thought, but I just wanted to double check that that's still the path that it's going on.
Yeah, and that's the idea, is that you wouldn't have to do any check planes because you're just doing extra work that doesn't necessarily have to be done, which would actually make it a little bit more performant than it is at the moment. But right now we're going with the point of, let's just make it work, and so show the way to do this and make sure that it actually works, and then after that we can clean up the double escaping that's happening. Which is not actually happening because check plane returns safe markup, and then it doesn't double escape it anyways. But yeah.
Oh, so check plane is actually being changed in this? Yeah. I didn't actually notice that. Okay.
Yeah, it just returns safe markup object, and then therefore it doesn't need to double escape it. But we don't need to call check plane in the first place, which needs to be removed as well. And that's on the separation.
Yeah, because that stuff can just be escaped when it's printed in the Twig template, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just saves an extra step. Especially if you're escaping it and never using it.
Exactly, yeah. That's the kind of, and that's like stuff that we talked about in the sandwich talk about potentially unnecessary pre-processed stuff. So
yeah,
that's all cool. I'm just seeing in like the back sort of log of Drupal contribute some talk about reloading Twig cache or something. So I have to look at that later, but. The only other thing I wanted to mention specifically was that we're down a few more theme functions, so
woohoo. Just need to finish those ones off, and it would be
we're
good
really getting towards the end of at least of the Twig conversions, and now it's like, okay, type table and all these other ones. Yeah. And I have a feeling some of the ones that are postponed that were not type table, we might have to unpostpone and be like, okay, let's just convert it. Like some of the views ones I'm thinking of. Do you remember some of those views ones where the BDC people were like, oh, we're going to do it, refactor it and do this, but I don't think they've done that. So
no, they haven't got around to that one yet. So maybe we should just do it and then they can refactor it out later.
Yep.
I'm just pulling the latest.
Because then it's still a better experience for everyone. And then I guess like... did we figure out anything else different for the banana? Like other than I guess do we know if anyone's pushed to the sandbox? I haven't actually checked it. I know
I pushed a little, but that was like last week, and then I was like, oh shit, I move out in the week. I better get my boxes and begin to clean up stuff and empty up. And so I've kind of been on that for the whole week. So I have this week I have not earned my Boy Scout Twig marker.
Important screenshot.
And Steve Oliver looked at a couple of the patches already, and one of them he's kind of suggesting that we should go with the themer one. Oh, I gave 2 patches.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
And I'm kind of leaning that way too.
Yep.
But I'm just wondering if there's anybody else that has a reason why you wouldn't. I know the reasoning more or less why you want to use type table, but I'm just wondering if there's any kind of feedback on that one, and a stronger argument for having that one on that issue.
Okay, so let me just get the link at least, and we can paste that into the chat. It's the update version or whatever, right?
Yep, update version Twig.
Okay.
I should post it there. Update version.
I'm almost there.
See who wins. Take this.
Damn it. Okay.
Take that, awesome Blair.
So yeah, people can. Yeah, if people, I just went to 175,755 of 0, so I lose. I could have done. Anyway, so what else is going on in the land of Twigs?
We also we have a number of different ones in menu, but menus are being refactored quite a bit by Peter.
Yeah, I saw some of those are postponed now, which is okay with me. After
those stuff gets changed, then we kind of have to go a little harder on the menu stuff. But there's some also Deviner's thing from a month or 2 ago is still my favorite out of all the solutions.
Yeah, same here.
Recursive menu, and that allows the template person to know what the context of the links are.
Yeah, totally.
Because I keep having to hack Drupal 7's theme menu, to make it know what's going on, so I can put a class on the UL. That's my only goal, is to put a class on the UL, and it's really hard.
Actually, while Mark Carver is at least listening, I did do a review of make template the default hook option, or the default output option, and I think it's really close. I just had a couple questions. So Mark, if you're listening, take a look at you. It's should be really quick questions, and then we can probably do an RTBC. It's more I just wanted to double check some of the changes. I can link to my comment here.
So do I want to offer feedback on the 2 different templates, 2 different patches?
I'm trying to figure out what way to go with that one. So it's one of them is basically moving the actual markup to a template. The other one's moving it to a type table, and it's essentially a table, but I've put the markup in the template, which some people think is bad practice, and because we have type table, and type table does things for you, and blah, blah, blah.
I think it's so to just bang the usual drum here that I'm looking here at the version that you call for the developers or whatever you call it for. Let's see what you call it for. Update version for developers. The whole issue of having a table as a Twig variable, we can just as well just hard code and print content in it. Then it's I saw Twig's comments about how many would actually like to overwrite this, but the whole issue is that of course we want to do that at some point. We have no idea yet what people want to do with it.
Yeah, and the one thing that the other counterpoint, just so that you know, is you get things from type table for free that you won't get from me writing a table in there, and type table gives you responsive tables, and it gives you a few other things in terms of classes that get injected on there, and they work really well for a lot of your tables that you need for admin purposes.
We're still down in the whole thought or the whole concept of, we have this function that provides all of this thing to you automatically, and it's it's again based on these like 10 years old Drupal thoughts of we're having this magic function providing stuff. I think it's extremely important that we remember that every time we split data out so it's get easier to adjust and work with, it actually gives designers and front enders a possibility now to work with it.
Yes, and that's my other point too. I just want to show you, like, I don't want to say everything on the same as what you're saying because I agree with those things, but I just want to see if there's anybody that can kind of give a stronger argument on the other side so that I'm not doing something rash. And on this template specifically, it's such a small thing that it probably doesn't matter either way, but I'm trying to make a point out of it. That's why I put those two template patches there, to show why I'm kind of proposing one or the other, and yeah, that's the...
It doesn't look like there's anybody...
Hi, Jen. I didn't see you there.
Hey, Jen. Yeah. So it was, I just saw that, and I think it's this twitch in my body ever since I saw the content variable in the node TPL 8 years ago. I mean, every time I see it, it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, for the responsive tables thing, it would be nice if that was actually fairly easy to do in the template. So that would mean that we need to be able to somehow tell it to load the JavaScript library from within the template, and we would just have to be able to put the classes on the things that we want to do responsively. And that would be really nice, actually, because it would be easier to read than a renderable array that has like crazy amount of nested elements. Yeah, which is gross for just trying to figure out, oh, I want this column to be low priority. If that was easy, and Drupal could provide that feature, but we could easily manipulate it within the template, we'd actually have a little bit more control there. But right now, making a renderable array with responsive tables, like, ooh, we have responsive tables, but holy crap, is it hard to build one. So, yes and no.
These, like, look at our magic feature here, we can now do blah, and we can't do shit with it. Okay, good. I was just do it. Yeah, it just drives me nuts that, because at the time Drupal 8 is going to come out, we probably want to do it anyways in another way, and then we're stuck with some shit we don't.
It's nice to have those features, and maybe we do like to do it another way, but it would be nice to be able to, like, literally do that kind of stuff in the template, and then if I don't like it, I could just remove it and put whatever the hell I want.
Well, yeah, so.
But yeah, it's a bit tricky to do in. So yeah, I think I'll see if I can just re-roll that with the suggestion from WebChicks about just putting a comment in there.
WebChicks?
WebChicks, yeah. WebChick. Angie. So put that in the comment in, and then just see if Steve won't RTBC it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because it was just like a comment, like this. It was just like a demo comment or something.
Yeah. Just why we did it, so
right.
that people know a little bit more about the rationale behind it.
Yeah.
So I just threw in the when did I start this? The body class issue back from April.
Mm-hmm.
It's been there for another week, and we had RTBC, and then it failed. So now, if anybody of you want to look at it, because now we're going into like vacation mode. And
it's just reroll, okay.
No, it is. I we re-rolled it, and I saw it. I was like, "Yay, happiness!" And I then like pinging somebody to like, "Good." I don't think I can RTBC this. I don't think that's kosher.
Do we have like the barrage of screenshots for certain individuals?
Are you?
I'm not naming names, but I'm just saying, you know.
Oh yeah, god damn it! Yeah, put a comment in. I can follow up on it tomorrow because it's like 1:30 now here.
Yeah.
I should probably clean some of that up.
Yeah.
I'm reading the code, and I might jump in there and just clean some of the code up a little bit, but it's not very much code, so it should be really quick. But yeah.
So, John, you were telling me about something about the banana thingy on IRC, but I was like busy with 10,000 other things.
Oh, I don't remember. Don't remember.
Something about, hey, does this look better than that? Posted earlier today, I think. I don't know. This came up suddenly. I was like, oh shit, that's something we need to talk about.
Oh yes, yes. I was thinking of just this has been mentioned a couple times, but just kind of brushed aside. I was just wondering if maybe it would just be better to have a class, a method on the attribute object instead of the attribute array object, which is the class object essentially, that says add class and remove class. Would that be easier to understand? It looks like jQuery. It would act the same as jQuery essentially, and it's just moving my method onto the attribute object itself.
Do you have some of it somewhere?
I wrote, yeah, I was just thinking, I'll just write it in the comments here. So,
Sean was just asking in IRC because they're sprinting in New Jersey, right?
Yep. That's right.
Okay, New Jersey this weekend. He's asking about creating like sub-issues or something for the banana, but I said it might be too early but we could maybe use some help in the banana box.
Yeah, the banana stand needs help.
Okay. So,
it is.
So Sean, if you actually, Sean, let me. I can give you access so that you can. It's just a sandbox, so it's like a separate Git repo, and but I can give you access so that you can add people to it.
Okay.
So that they can just push to it, and hopefully, that will work.
You don't actually need the square brackets on that one that I just posted because that's if you want to put multiple, and it's not mandatory. And we're at the last level doing things, so you don't actually need that. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, I was interrupting you to say that. So that's fine.
So yeah, that's what I was looking at. So attribute add class or class add is what I wrote for all the tests and everything, and I was thinking maybe just put it right onto the attributes object itself. It might be a little bit cleaner, and I might be able to control it a little bit more too, so that it makes sure that there's an actual class object there, just in case there was not one, and I don't know if I've written a test on that.
So on the banana thing, and for those who do not know what the banana goes on with, is we have created a repo where the idea was to try to take the whole concept of moving all classes out of Drupal core and putting it out in its own template folder and figuring out are we gonna end up in some kind of obscure dependency here? What kind of issues are we gonna hit by doing this? And instead of trying to fall, also to when we have to discuss it further down, and make Joel happy and me and Mark happy as well at the same time, which is going to be a long.
It's a hard thing to do.
It's doable.
Mine is just my concern's biggest on the maintenance issues of the classes inside the templates, and if we can solve that, then I'd be pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the. I think you can actually do this without the classes and the templates thing, but we would like. That's what we're trying to solve to determine whether or not the maintenance thing, because that's the end goal. That's what Morten wants, and that's what everybody in the banana community wants. So, and I kind of want it too. I just want to make sure that I'm not shooting myself in the foot and making a maintenance hell out of adding classes to templates.
So actually, while we're talking about that, Joel or Morten, do you want to talk about sort of the plan for the banana sandbox and kind of fill in people who weren't on the call like whatever it was a week or two ago, because it's just like a temporary thing. So but kind of the first steps,
We set up the plan and we put it on the issue summary or the project summary page, and it says like build a base theme, the banana base theme, and I think Morten might have already done that. I haven't even looked. And then we're going to extend, Bartik and Seven are both going to extend this banana. So that's where all the classes and stuff will be coming from for base classes. And then everything else inside of core is going to be removing these classes. And Stark will also have no classes. So there'll be classless or whatever you want to call it. And you'll have a naked core, and it won't have anything really except for some structure. And then you can style it through using this banana.
I just got a tweet. Somebody asked me what was the link for those who just want to watch us sit and talk.
Anybody have the link for that?
Yeah, I have that.
All right.
Tweeter.
I would also say, as well as just a side note, Mark said here, like, I don't care if it's called class.add or add class without the dots. To me, that's like, you know.
It's kind of it's semantics, but
Yeah.
it's just I think I might be able to do more with add class than I can do with class.add, and it also the other benefit that I'm thinking would be better is that it looks like jQuery, so. So people will be like, oh, I already understand it because that's what jQuery does. Yeah, exactly what Mark wrote. I'm just reading right exactly what you wrote.
All right. Boom. I'm now claiming that we're being clever. All right, so my plan was on the Twitters, and then it's true, we know that, because what you say on Twitter will come and haunt you down a little bit later. I know that. So back to topic. So what I was thinking here was I would take the patch that Joel, that we hammered together, you hammered together, which give us just a rough model for this. It's either got that patch, or I'm just going to go to town with it and provide 6,000 variables. I think if we take that patch and add in, then we at least have a rough framework to work on and a method, and then we can always change it, because I see this as it's more of a concept that we just need to figure out if it's actually going to work. Is there something? And I wonder how many templates we actually want to convert. Do we want to try to take everything out right now?
I don't think so. I think it just needs to be like proof of concept. I think probably the first step, if we haven't done it yet, is to commit the latest version of the add class, remove class. If we haven't, commit that to the sandbox. You know what I mean?
And I haven't changed it at all, so it's whatever was there. But I don't know if did you already add that patch?
No, that was my plan. But then
okay,
natural, I think it was 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Okay.
So I'll probably end up rewriting it to do add class instead of class.add, just so that it's a little bit easier for people to know what it's doing. And I think I might have a test that might make it better in the long run too. So I'll rewrite that a little bit, and then I'll ping you.
I'm going to be moving all weekend, or probably not all weekend, but I also have to clean up this apartment for Wheels.
Yeah.
That's always going to be fun. Figure out how much dust I actually left after 2 years. Plus, we also have a boring semi-final and an epic final, which Germans is going to win on Sunday. So we have football.
Foosball.
I'm going to put people in the boats, and we're going to invade the U.S. again and make sure so you understand what football is.
I'll be watching the game on the weekend too.
Yeah. I just know that's going to... I'm a little bit sad that I'm actually going to move on Sunday, else I would have totally jumped the flight to Berlin instead to watch the game, but there's a big viewing party as well. Well, all about that, but back to topic. So let's see if we can get that concept done by next. I think by next week would be good, just to have an overall idea if this is, if this is actually does this hold water or not.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, just quickly. So if for example, if Sean has sprinters kind of this weekend that want to work on this, is it basically a syntax change for what you're talking about with the add class versus add? Could someone
it onto a different class, but it's not like a huge technical challenge.
I'm just thinking as far as the templates, just to get something going, even if it's not what we think is exactly the way forward, but just to start to do that, because
they can actually use this one, and then we can change in the Twig document. They can use the one that I already have, and then I can switch So yeah. Totally use whatever I have right now, class.add, add that patch in, and they can.
Okay.
Sean, you guys can use that.
Yeah, because it's just it's basically you're looking at the classes that are being added in pre-process and then moving that to the template, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And like it is a syntax change on the Twig side, but for me it's a little bit more than that. So, but once I change it
know
over,
that,
it's the same.
I just meant as far as the templates, because we can
so
always.
they can use what I have though. So, give it.
Okay, because we can always apply like your interdiff to the sandbox too.
Yep.
Cool.
If you don't want to go all anal over how the syntax is, I'm fine with that.
I will. Important.
We have been over this already like 15 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can just go gangbusters with that, I think.
Yeah, actually, the reason for this is actually so I can for once yet again rename all my class names, because last time I did that while I was writing a front end system, and I changed my class name like 4 or 5 times on the whole structure was built, and going through Drupal to change that every time is such a pain in the ass. So by getting all the class names out in the templates, I can actually change my midstream without having to like ask for forgiveness and why I used 60 hours again to change everything.
Find and replace.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was like all kinds of dumb shit coming up. Oh god damn. Yeah.
But if it was in your template, it would be all in one spot. So.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes when you do the big search, find and replace stuff, you kind of get to screw something over because you use 2 generic names. Anyways.
Yeah.
So besides of the banana, do we put forward anything else?
Yeah, the big thing that was talked about on the weekend by the other Mark Drummond, was adding JavaScript, and it's hard, and there's about 5 different people suggesting like different ways to do it, and no real solution at the very end for like certain use cases. So it needs some documentation right now, and it needs some people to actually try out and see if it actually works.
So what do you want to do with JavaScript?
Just add a JavaScript to a template conditionally, or not inside the template. That's easy. But like if you need some variables, how do you do that before you did it with preprocess and you did add JS? But preprocess is a bad place to do it, so don't. But give them another place to do it. And then there was like hook build something, hook page build. I don't know if that was a good solution or not.
It was specifically around external JavaScript and inline JavaScript. I still think it's really just about documentation in general.
It is, but yeah, just nobody knows. It's like, this is pretty funny. Nobody knows really the best solution for that. And the one solution that Nod came up with was closest, but then Mark tried it and it didn't work for him or something. Or it's not. Somebody else came along and said it wasn't a good solution. It sounded like the best solution, and it sounded like the documentation for it said this is a good place to put this kind of stuff in Drupal 7, and Drupal 8 it's not working or something.
Is this is the attached stuff, right?
Yep.
Can you link to that? Because I thought I was following it, but now I'm not sure because I haven't seen any updates.
I think Krell was saying that there's people working on the page handler and the HTML handler or whatever. The way those 2 theme hooks are handled and pre-rendered and cached, which are now basically object-oriented, there needs to be a separate, we have to basically hook into that object specifically to add assets, if I remember correctly what he was saying. So like the hook page build and the page alter hooks are probably going to go away eventually.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Probably going to be some documentation shifts, but again, it just boils down to documentation.
Do you have the issue for that one, Mark? I'm lost on it. I didn't put it in my stuff.
Let me find it.
Awesome, Barstow. It's awesome right now.
Anybody by the way remember where we ended up with the pages? I just saw an old issue I've been subscribing on that says make pages not suck, and it's 8 years and 9 months old now. But there was this Eric something who was working on the pages in Austin.
Yep. Scaraguch.
Something. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the.
Thanks,
Apparently, I've not subscribed to
So the one that Mark posted there is the one that we're talking about for the JavaScript.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen this one. I've only seen the one where, unless this has really changed a lot. Oh yeah, it has changed a lot. Okay, because like the whole issue summary looks really different now, I think.
Yeah, different title, different summary.
Yeah. Okay. So I evidently did not follow it. Okay. Cool.
Different problem. No.
And actually, completely unrelated, but Mark, I just want to double check on the Twig template thing.
Yes.
I do agree that when that Twig will yell at you if the template doesn't exist, but that's only when you try and render the template, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So
I think that's probably okay.
Krell was the one that was saying that hook page alter and hook page build are bad ideas to put this stuff in, and node nod was the one that said that it was a good idea, and it sounded like a good idea until Krell said that. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. It's like, dang it. Anyways, is there a good place? Did anything come of that, Mark? Does anything like where do we put this stuff, kind of thing? Or did you get lost like I did?
I mean, the guest that I posted, that was a fresh pull on head. So I mean, it did work using page alter. I implemented both external JavaScript, CSS, and inline script to display that dialog. So I know it works currently in core that way.
Okay.
So whether or not that's going to change down the road, that's what this issue needs to keep track of.
Okay. So it would be nice to see if Krell has an alternative solution for that kind of stuff, because he's the one that was mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, HTML page.
That might go away.
The HTML page object, if there's a way with the view listener to actually add all this stuff in, that's great. What he's not sure of is if it supports the inline and external JavaScript, which I'm assuming it will, if it's following the internal add underscore Drupal add JS stuff, which really hasn't changed much. So. Which is the same as the attached stuff. So I don't see it being too much of an issue, to be honest. Again, it might just be a documentation shift, and don't use a hook. Extend an object of some kind or inject it in this way through some container or something.
Okay. So yeah, it's definitely something that Krell needs to follow up on. I think might even just assign him to it or something, because if he's going to say we can't use that thing, we need a solution for that problem, and I really do think that hook page build at the moment is the best place to put that information, and definitely preprocess is not. So that's the only thing I can get out of it for clearness.
That's a good place to put it for modules. Themes can't access that hook, so they would have to do it in page alter.
Page alter, yeah. But preprocess is definitely not the place for that stuff.
No. Yeah, preprocess for page is like a magical wonderland. Who knows what happens there.
Yeah, I just seen a lot of people recommending that in Drupal 7, so it works in Drupal 7, but it's not supposed to, and it breaks caching stuff. So that's why we're not doing that anymore. But we just need an alternative to that. It's like, okay, you can't do it here. We need to know. So where can we do it? That's the next question that comes right after that.
We could just kill it on the theme layer.
You just can't put JavaScript on pages. But yeah, the actual use case that was originally in that post, you just put it in the template itself and call it a day, because it's going to show up on every page, and you don't have to worry about extra processing. Just check it right on the HTML page. Just typekit. Likely you're going to be putting it on every single HTML page.
Yeah. For things like that, I was suggesting just put it directly in the template. That's what I would do.
Same.
Anyway, Scott, you were wanting to talk about the default template issue.
Yeah, like really the only thing that I'm concerned about now, other than that if else if, which is whatever, I think we can just roll back that one line personally.
We can't.
But I just don't see how those lines are related to the conditional include.
because of how Views API differs from actual theme hooks. Trust me,
Okay.
if you want to actually do everything and try to and roll it back, that's fine. But I did a lot of digging into how Views assumes a lot of its templates and themes.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah.
And a lot of it is legacy from D7. So
Okay.
mainly because we don't really have a true API theme or theme API that's solid and stable. That's not true. We do, but it doesn't utilize things correctly currently, and that's why it was breaking when we changed it to the default stuff. And I implemented the fatal error. I found a few templates or a few functions that weren't defined, and so I had to alter some of the Vue stuff. So.
Okay, yeah, like I'm not even sure what theme_file is. Like, that must be a Views thing or some weird thing in theme I've never heard of.
That's part of the plugin API.
Okay.
So, and it's basically associating the definition of that plugin with the theme hook. And what it was doing before is it was just assuming that anything from Views, the theme file, was going to be Views theme includes, which when things are moving towards templates and functions, the theme file doesn't need to be the include anymore. It needs to be a template. So there's a disconnect there in the Views module with how it was developed. So if you want to take a look at it deeper, and if I miss something, by all means, please raise it again. But I'm pretty sure that this is pretty solid.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume that this would. The only thing that's that I'm not sure about is that it's almost like what this is changing. Well, actually, no, I guess not, because it's changing to null_sif. I was gonna say what this is changing might only be broken in contrib for Views plugins, but I don't think so. Actually, I think it would be broken for Views itself. So I think if this change was not correct, we would get a lot of test failures. So. Yeah, I just wasn't sure what the reason was, so.
Originally, and I had to go through and really step through how it was parsing all of the definitions of the plugins, including core.
Okay.
Well, only including core, but I was literally stepping through Xdebug, going through and seeing how it was actually building these theme hooks appropriately.
Yeah.
And
I vouch for him. I saw him.
Nice.
So. I don't know. I'm not happy really with this patch anymore, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, the only other thing is basically kind of how we were talking about in Austin, where we were talking about that Drush script and basically saying let's just make the patch do that, which is awesome. Thank you. But I'm a little bit. Maybe you can kind of talk me out of this, but I'm still a little bit skeptical about the template case because we're not declaring templates anymore. The template is the default. So if you declare a template, that's the default, and you don't provide the template, it's fine. I mean, from the actual usage case, but I guess as far as this patch passing or failing, we wouldn't really know if we're missing files or something, right?
We would if whatever.
If they're not being used, I guess is more what I mean.
What I'm saying is that anything that implements a theme hook should have a test in core.
So I agree.
Invoke a theme function call, which would invoke the template being called, which Twig would then call. So it should. In theory, we should have tests for all of this. Whether or not we actually do, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, in retrospect, it's not, in my opinion, too big of a deal because, I mean, literally, your page will not render, and you'll get this big error message saying that this file can't be found.
Yeah.
And it's a very easy, quick fix. Going, oh, they forgot to add this, file to the Git repo or something. I don't know, whatever. But I mean. I'd rather let Twig handle its fails instead of assuming it on this level.
For sure.
The reason we're doing it with function calls is because it's not the default anymore. And so if some module decides to explicitly define a function as a theme hook, then it would be very minimal that those functions exist much.
Cool. Okay, I'm on board with that. So, and just while we're talking about it, the change to Twig engine to catch the Twig error loader, I'm just curious, like, why that was added. I'm not against it or anything, but I'm just curious. It's like at the very end of the patch.
Yeah. Patch, hold on. It's a way to catch the error, so it displays nicely.
Okay.
And so instead of getting a complete fail error, you'll actually get a nice error Drupal themed message, and your site won't completely break.
Okay. All right, that's cool. I can dig it. All right, I think that's probably our TBC then. I'll review it again tonight, but
There might be a few theme functions that need to be refactored, but
yeah, it's like we just have to keep re-rolling it when. But I think user was the last of the batch, so.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that it's
good.
User.
I think user was last when that got committed. And just so you guys all know, the core committers got the RTBC queue to 0 yesterday, so yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah.
So that means we have to make it go back up.
Yep.
Well, I have RTBC it, but I've worked too much on this patch. I think somebody else should take a look at it.
The template one or another one?
The default one.
Yeah, I can RTBC it. I don't think I've uploaded it. Well, I've uploaded rerolls. I think that's about it. The rest has just been reviews. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can RTBC that.
I think it's ready to go. Yeah. I guess since I have everyone here and I'm actually kind of participating now, the foot or the theme foot extension issue. Where is it?
T-foot?
Yeah, the T-foot.
Good old T-foot.
I really want this in. I'm tired of having to do it. Okay.
I dropped it in there, I think.
Yeah. Beat me to it.
You're quick tonight, Joel.
Firefox hasn't crashed yet. That's why.
Oh, this is a pretty old one too. Over 4 years.
Yeah. So I finally found that issue with the responsive classes not being added to the table rows. The regression that got fixed. It looks like Nugget, I'm guessing the G is silent, uploaded a reroll, and that was passive. So I think you can go back to RTBC. Someone just might want to take a look at it, other than myself.
The T-foot one?
Yeah. Well, maybe I could review it. I forgot. I didn't actually put any patches. I was just doing reviews.
Oh, I see. So okay, so it went 7 and then back to 8. And
it got actually committed to 8, and then John found this, which we thought was caused by this issue, but it really wasn't.
Okay.
So now that it's not caused by that issue, we can actually, I guess we can put, I'll just go ahead and mark this back as RTBC.
Yeah, I think that's fine, honestly.
Yeah, it should be fine. It was committed at one point.
Most of the patches seem to be NuGet anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you think it's good to go, I would just do that, Mark. Mark it!
Cool, I'll do that.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Table footer rows. Very nice. It's actually like comprehensible that it's in a Twig template. You can be like, oh, they're adding markup. It's amazing.
You can read it, yeah.
Like, I can actually know what's going on, like just quickly looking at this patch. The bottom part, anyway.
I do think we must do something wrong. Then it cannot be that way. Make sure we keep it a secret.
So yeah, like I think as long as this is retaining what you did in that other issue, Mark, then it's cool.
I was waiting for the other issue to get fixed and pushed in so that way we could actually test it against the tests I got in for the responsive stuff.
The only thing I would maybe suggest is just adding like a screenshot or two with your RTBC, but just.
Why did you do that?
Because we have people who like screenshots. I think I took about 25 screenshots to get the goddamn note in. So.
Yep.
I've provided some screenshots before.
Yeah.
There's that regression tool, like it takes screenshots for you. That one dude made. Here, I'll see if I can find it. It's pretty cool.
There's a bunch of those. Are you talking about the side effect one as well?
Look
The one that
for
was
what he
used
named.
to test AutoEscape?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was side effect. Like, I don't know. It sounded like people were actually had it up and running. So I don't know how.
Well, the one guy that made it, I think, was Tim, TI2M.
Yeah.
Was using it, and.
But it sounded like maybe they got in touch, but it sounded like Fabian was using it too. But I'm just curious because I don't see code or anything. It's just like a site.
Here's the results.
Talking about Fabian, I'm just going to jump a little bit also before my brain clears out. So me and Fabian's session got accepted. Woo!
Yep, saw that. Good stuff.
In Amsterdam. Joel, you're coming, right?
Yep.
Sweet. So we had a plan like floating out, so we need to like look into that a little bit more.
If you need a hand with that, let me know. I can just hang out if you want.
My plan as well, because no, I was thinking about we should again try to. It's going to be more of a presentation than a lab, but it was more the idea of also making sure we either. I'm going to fly in early no matter what, so we could set up a decent code sprint before and also after. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there on Friday, and I've seen the spot where we're going to have the code sprint. It's pretty sweet. The center of Amsterdam. So that's also going to be both good and bad. Well, I've been there enough times, so it's what it is.
I'll be there. I'm aiming to be there for both sprints before and after as well.
Yeah.
Just depends on the flights.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to just having an hour and 20 minutes flight. I've been through Amsterdam so many times for the last year that it's beginning to be a little bit absurd.
And trying to game the flight system where if you're within 60 days, for international flights, you can try to get cheaper flights within that range, but before that it's harder, so I'm going to see if that works.
Oh, yeah.
It's a gamble. It was on a Lifehacker article this morning.
Cool. Anything else? Anyone? I got nothing. I just want to review this patch, and that's about it.
Probably try to review at least one of those remaining theme function ones, because I really want to get that 30 down to 0. And then it's about getting that cleaner version of the classes for me, so that your banana stuff will work nicer. See if I can do that on the weekend. That's my plan.
I just unassigned myself from the pre-process suggestions issue. I'm not going to have time to work on this, unfortunately. I thought I was going to get to it in Austin, but I got sidetracked with other issues. So if anyone has time to work on it, that'd be great, because I don't.
I'll have to pass on that one for now, but maybe later.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna jump in on the as much banana as possible, and keep focus on that next week. If I don't get overflowed by work, and hopefully my move is gonna go smooth. That's at least my plan at this point. It could be worse. So, yeah.
Or could even have sprints that I can assign it to somebody that wants to try and tackle it. That's great. Yeah, I know that we're all kind of busy, so I don't know. Anything, if you know anybody that wants to try and tackle it, good. I want to, I just don't have time.
Yeah, I'll end up looking at it eventually if nobody else does, but I'm going to concentrate on a few little tasks first and not put too much on my plate.
Yep. Auto escape.
Auto escape is just waiting for other people to review it at this point because it's there.
Yep.
And we've cleaned it up a number of times and re-rolled it against core. And it's there and it works and just needs people to test it out more along the lines of code reviews than actual testing because it passes tests, so it's good enough to go in, I think. Just cool. A matter of people looking at the code and saying, what the heck do they do here? Or maybe even a couple profiles. I might profile it on the weekend just to see if it's any better. And I'm curious to know if it's any faster with render caching turned on and off. So I might try that.
Right.
I just don't know. I'm just curious because that probably doesn't affect any argument at all. But I just want to know if render caching turn on has any effect on the auto escape patch, or on patches in general, because I always just turn it off.
Cool. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yep.
Yeah, my brain is fried right now. So. And I have more boxes in my goddamn kitchen. Why did I get so much kitchen shit? God damn it.
I don't know, Morton.
Yeah, it's something about having.
You got to refactor it. Refactor your kitchen.
I'm not going to refactor my kitchen if I'm
That's good.
Yeah, and the rest of my apartment is just like boxes all over. Yeah.
Sell the duplicate knives.
Yeah. I am looking at my comic book collection. I'm kind of like, do I need all of these books? And I know what the answer is. Yes, of course I do that, but still.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I've captured the chat log, so we're good to go. Oh, I got to add that. That's missing in the chat log.
Suggestion, yeah.
No suggestions. All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Yeah. Only for the banana.
Visit the
Bye.
banana. See ya.
Yes, I can, Jen. Bye.
God damn it.